This annual quality stock today is Wednesday, October 27th, 2010, and today we're going to take a look at A5 Laboratories. This is a NASDAQ bulletin board stock trading under ticker AFLB. Let's scale this back to a 5-month chart. You can see it really hasn't been trading much longer than that. Had a nice base going through here. I'm assuming biotech, but judging by the name, but maybe had some bad drug news. Drop down, trying to make itself a little bit of higher highs through here. It's got a kind of nice look to it, so we're going to take a look at the indicators and see what they're telling us. Get an uptrend in the histogram on the MACD. Tells us we're about ready to get a bullish cross of the signal line. Same way with the PPO. Of course, these both dove off with the big drop in price. Now they're trying to trend back towards zero. So we're looking for the first bullish cross of the PPO and the MACD. Pretty nice setup with the ADX. Properly positioned for a nice reversal off a bottom. Plenty of room for this positive and negative DIs to invert positions. While the ADX isn't up terribly high, up around 40, that is still a little high, so we're going to look for that to try and come back down and flatten out just a little bit. And if it's going to make a true turn, we'll look for it to rotate and pivot back up this way and have a bullish cross of the positive DI. MFIs are in a very nice position. We want to see them break through 50. We talk about this in virtually every chart, where we want to see them trending over 50. The initial break of 50 is a good key point. I like to see them all in close proximity to each other like this. We're also seeing the 21 starting to get an uptrend to it. So we're going to look for this to continue. We just don't want to get too much separation between the 7 and the 21. Right now it's in a pretty nice place. Very strong uptrend in the accumulation distribution, telling us that there's been some buying going on with this stock. Same way with the shaken money flow. Even with this little dip below, that was an awful big drop in price per share from 88 cents all the way down to 35 cents. And yet the shaken money flow did not go that far below the zero line. Since then, we've been seeing a steady increase. There's been good buying pressure on that stock. CCI still holding above negative 100. Nice position. Of course, we want to see that break through the zero line. Full Stow definitely has a long-term downtrend feel to it. But now we're starting to get the slightest little uptrend going on with the Full Stow. This break of 20 is what we want to see hold. This little head fake right through here wasn't substantial. We want to see this get up into this area and start pushing on 50. We're starting to get a little bit of a hint that there's a turn coming in the trick. See how it's starting to flatten back out, starting to turn back towards the signal line? Again, being such a smooth indicator, it does turn relatively slow. But on the long term, we're looking for this to try and make an uptrend, try and make its way back towards zero. That starts with that bullish cross of the signal line. RSIs are in a very nice position, starting to get that hint of an uptrend to the 14 and 21. Not much, kind of channel, but a little bit of an uptrend to it. Of course, the 7 has now moved through both of them. Much like many of the other indicators, that break of 50 is what we want to see. It's a tough time getting through it. We want to see it get up here over 50 and start trading over top of it. The AFLB candles have a pretty nice look to them. Good supports being established here at 40. So we want to see that hold. If it breaks through 40, chances are very good it's going to come down here and hit this 35 again. Being at 45 cents right now, I wouldn't want to set a stop loss all the way down there. It's just a little bit too far. That would be a possible entry point if it can establish that as some support later on if it does break to the downside. Right now, I need to see it hold 40. That's about 10%, a little over 10% from where it is now. That keeps losses relatively minimal if it does want to break back down. So it has to hold 40. It's trying to make higher highs right now. You can see the uptrend that it's trying to establish right here. So for a stock coming off a big drop like this, it's really in a good position to try and make a larger move. Again, the support has to hold. You want to see volume stay strong. You see good buying pressure came in yesterday, 532,000 shares traded. Plenty of liquidity in this stock. It does have some resistance right there in front of it, right at 45. You can see it's had a hard time moving through it. Even when it came down, it bounced back up to 44, 45. That area is a pretty tough area for it, so it needs to make a strong move through that. But then it's pretty clear sailing up to this area at 55, 56. Obviously, very nice gains from 45 cents to there. It also happens to intersect that 20-day moving average right in that area. You can see it's at 54, which we talk about all the time as the first real moving average resistance. So there's some nice room for this to move if it can break through this 45. So we'll look for volume. We'll look for it to try and make a move up this direction if it can. Long term, you're going to be looking way up here around this 50-day moving average. But people that follow our charts know I typically don't really set targets. I just pick out resistance areas, and I'll look for that stock to try and stall out in that area. I'll keep an eye on volume and such and selling pressure when it reaches that resistance. Longer term, though, next moving average resistance is going to be all the way up here at 74 cents. Of course, this is dynamic, so it's going to come dipping back down. I'd look for something more around that area, 65 cents. A little bit kind of through here between these two, bounced off of it through here. This 50-day is going to continue to come down, of course, like I just said. So down the road, if this can begin to trend upward, we'll look for what kind of resistance it establishes at that point. We'll see how it does with 55. Then we might come back and take a look at this if it does make a move to the upside. But first and foremost, hold the base, break the resistance, challenge the 20-day moving average, look for volume to stay strong. That's the basics of the AFLB chart and things that I'll be looking for. As always, this is merely my interpretation. This is Andy with Quality Stocks. Thank you for watching and trade smart.